consumption of alcoholic beverages is not permitted. Please be cautious when ascending and descending the bleachers. Please use handrails where available and watch for tripping, slipping, and falling hazards. Finally, please do not go onto the grassy areas when taking photos during the ceremony. The flights before you are named after Air Force pioneers who have made significant contributions to our enlisted heritage. They have a special meaning to all airmen, especially those who are transitioning from civilians to warrior airmen of character. Today's graduates make up these heritage flights and will continue to shape our Air Force. And now, I'd like to take a moment to inform you on specific flight locations on the parade field, as viewed from the bleachers from your left to your right. The first 4 heritage flights to pass in review today are from the 321st Training Squadron, Binnaker, Bankin, Murray, and Blake flight. Next are Duprat Waldo, Harlow, and McKinley flight from the 324th Training Squadron. In the center of the parade field is the 737 Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps from the 321st Training Squadron. The flight selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags is Kissling flight, followed by Peterson and Finch flight from the 331st Training Squadron. Next is Campanelli flight from the 324th Training Squadron. The last 4 flights to pass in review today are from the 323rd Training Squadron, Blue, Roy, Cody, and Matthews flight. At this time, please find a place to sit, thank you, and enjoy today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the entrance of our official party. Please remain standing for the invocation given by Chaplain Brock.
If it is your custom, I invite you to pray with me. Mighty and matchless God, we thank you for this celebratory occasion that brings us together as airmen, leaders, families, and friends. We rejoice with these graduates on this day of achievement. We ask for your divine blessing on them as they have labored many difficult weeks and have given much of themselves to arrive at this illustrious moment. We thank you for their families and friends and for the sacrifices they have made as well to make this day a reality. In your infinite goodness, give them joy as they witness the fruits of their labor, the works of their hands. We also pray that you would give to their leaders and instructors a sense of accomplishment for their faithful and dedicated service to these graduates. Grant these airmen that they may be zealous in the causes of truth, justice, and freedom, and may they always bring honor to you, themselves, their families, and a great legacy of our Air Force. We ask all these things in the name of the one who was and is to come. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Brock. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's Basic Military Training Graduation Parade. We would like to introduce our distinguished guests, beginning with the host for today's ceremony. Representing the Commander, Air Force Basic Military Training, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, Lieutenant Colonel Wayne Kinsel. The Superintendent, Air Force Basic Military Training, Chief Master Sergeant Hope Skibitsky, accompanied by her husband, Senior Master Sergeant Justin Skibitsky. The Commander, 17th Training Wing, Goodfellow Air Force Base, Texas, Colonel Ricky Mills. Also in attendance with us today, the Command Chief, 17th Training Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Lavore Kirkpatrick. The Command Chief, 460th Space Wing, Buckley Air Force Base, Colorado, Chief Master Sergeant Rodney Lindsay, accompanied by his wife, Master Sergeant Stacy Lindsay. Although time does not permit us to introduce all of our distinguished guests, the 37th Training Wing is proud to welcome each of you. We hope you enjoy today's ceremony. The airmen who will pass in review today have completed a demanding 7.5-week program that provides Air Force units throughout the world with trained airmen. Part of this training includes the time-proven concepts of military customs and traditions, of which this parade is a vital part. All graduating airmen will also march over the enlisted Heroes Walk. They will lead the way for thousands of airmen that will follow, all reflecting on our enlisted heritage, tradition of honor, and our legacy of valor. Our Commander of Airmen is Cadet Fred Anthony Suico, United States Air Force Academy. Colonel Mills will review today's ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the national anthem. Thank you, and please be seated. 737th Training Group, United States Air Force, Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas. Subject, Commander's Excellence Streamer. The Commander's Excellence Streamer is awarded to the 323rd Training Squadron, Flight 451, for their significant accomplishments, demonstrating teamwork, excellence, and esprit de corps during the period of 7 May 2018 through 22 June 2018. Signed, Jason Carruthers, Colonel, United States Air Force.
March the command in review!
Ladies and gentlemen, the graduating airmen passing in review today represent a portion of the 40,000 recruits who will complete basic military training this year. The 737th Training Group provides all recruits the essential military training to become motivated members of the enlisted corps, of the greatest Air Force in the world. The military training instructors are responsible for the indoctrination, development, and discipline of the airmen. They have dedicated endless hours to ensure all training objectives are met. Today's graduates have proven through academic studies, military training, physical training, and the development of teamwork that they are ready to take their place in the United States Air Force. The flights you will view today are a representation of the enlisted force. Each flight represents an enlisted member of the Air Force who has embodied our core values and contributed to its heritage. As our graduates turn left onto the bomb run to pass a review, they will march over the enlisted heroes walk. The airmen recognized on the papers have been awarded our nation's highest honors, representing heroic and unselfish actions as members of the United States Air Force in armed conflict, including present-day operations in Afghanistan. They include 7 Medal of Honor, 28 Air Force Crosses, and 190 Silver Stars awarded for bravery during encounters with hostile enemy combatants. These enlisted heroes serve to inspire all airmen to execute their duties courageously and with honor in their service to this great nation. Armed with a knowledge of our past, the airmen will exit the heroes walk by marching over a blue line, signifying their accession into the greatest air power in the world. Musical support for this morning's ceremony has been provided by the 737th Training Group's Drum and Bugle Corps. From the 321st Marine Squadron, performing today under the direction of Master Sergeant Sherry Wynn, hometown, Chattanooga, Tennessee. These trainees are also in basic military training, but have been hand-selected to perform for ceremonies of this type. We would like for you to notice our national, state, and territorial flags. As these flags pass in review, please stand and render the appropriate courtesies for our national flag. Once the flags have passed in review, please be courteous to others and be seated in order to allow their guests the opportunity to view the flags as they pass in review. Passing in review, our Commander of Airmen is Cadet Fred Anthony Susuiko, United States Air Force Academy, hometown, Mongmongguan. From the 321st Training Squadron, the 737th Training Group Drum and Bugle Corps, led by Cadet Justin Zimmerman, hometown San Antonio, Texas, and Technical Sergeant Douglas Brown, hometown Hanson, Massachusetts. The 8th Squadron Commander, Cadet Connor Allen, United States Air Force Academy, hometown Lubbock, Texas. From the 321st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force No. 9, Vinegar Flight, led by a cadet named Alina Romero, hometown San Antonio, Texas. 324th Training Squadron, representing the 1st Female Combat Arms Major Command Program Manager, Dupont Waldo Flight, led by Cadet Devin Doyle, hometown Lancaster, Massachusetts. From the 324th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force No. 2, Harlow Flight, led by Cadet Brett Krug, hometown Ripon, California. From the 324th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force No. 15, McKinley Flight, led by Cadet Vanessa de Villa, hometown Huanca, Ecuador. The squadron selected as the color guard is from the 323rd Training Squadron, led by Master Sergeant Miguel Torres, hometown Ponce, Puerto Rico. The flights selected to carry our national, state, and territorial flags are from the 331st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force No. 3, Kisling Flight, led by Cadet Hannah Guckenberg, hometown Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and Cadet Bradford Eisenhower, hometown West Point, New York.
Put up!
The B Squadron Commander is Cadet Becca Hedrick, United States Air Force Academy, hometown Monument, Colorado. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing the Air Force's 1st Female Chief Master Sergeant, Peterson Flight, led by Cadet Dylan Fowler, hometown Bath, New York. From the 331st Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force No. 13, Finch Flight, led by Cadet Ryan Hill, hometown Scranton, Pennsylvania. From the 324th Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force No. 11, Campanelli Flight, led by Cadet Daniel Christensen, hometown Kalamazoo, Michigan. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing the Air Force Combat Action Medal recipient, Blue Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Gabriel Phillips, hometown Colorado Springs, Colorado. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force No. 16, Roy Flight, led by Master Sergeant Megan Johnson, hometown Las Vegas, Nevada. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force No. 17, Cody Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Brandon Johnson, hometown New Orleans, Louisiana. From the 323rd Training Squadron, representing a Medal of Honor recipient, Matthews Flight, led by Technical Sergeant Jarmia Otten, hometown Mobile, Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the United States Air Force Song. 7.5 weeks, the airmen before you have transformed from civilians into motivated, disciplined warrior airmen with the foundation to serve in the world's greatest Air Force. Once these airmen leave basic military training, they will enter Airmen's Week, where they will develop their critical thinking skills and further personalize the Air Force core values. They will continue on to technical training to learn the skills needed to perform in one of over 118 Air Force specialties. They will then move on to serve at one of over 84 Air Force bases around the world or work directly with our sister services. As these airmen move on to technical training, they will continue to focus on adapting to military requirements, achieving occupational proficiency, and learning how to be highly productive members of the Air Force. These men and women will prepare for increased responsibilities and must ensure that they are trained, qualified, and ready to deploy and operate in an expeditionary environment while maintaining home station readiness. Of the hundreds of thousands of airmen citizens that enter the workforce each year, less than 1% have joined the ranks of the U.S. military, and an even smaller percentage in the United States Air Force. You should be proud of their accomplishments thus far. The airmen before you have reached a milestone in their Air Force journey and will require your continued support to assist them in their future endeavors. These airmen are the future of our Air Force and will pave the way for future generations of airmen as we continue to fly, fight, and win. We would like to take a moment to congratulate all of our squadron honor graduates as well as their families. Basic military training honor graduates distinguish themselves by being ranked in the top 10% of all airmen graduating in their class. The exceptional personal dedication, integrity, service before self, and sustained excellence these airmen displayed throughout basic military training earned them this outstanding distinction. As the airmen march forward for the oath of enlistment, we would like to thank the families and friends who are here in support of the airmen graduating today. Your words of encouragement helped motivate these airmen through 7.5 weeks of basic military training. On behalf of the United States Air Force and Air Force Basic Military Training, we extend our thanks to the many family and friends of America's airmen for the support of our airmen and the greatest air power the world has ever known. Colonel Mills will now come forward and address our graduated airmen.
Well, howdy and good morning. What I'd like to first ask is I have two requests from the audience. Two things I'd like you to all to consider today. One, later this morning we will give and I will administer the oath of enlistment to these over 660 airmen. What I ask you, each and every one of you to do is reflect upon this oath and what it means. If you trace back the oath, it goes all the way back to the Roman Empire. It was at that time that a Roman soldier would pledge an oath to a particular general for a particular campaign. The English would adopt that oath. But for the English, that oath was to a particular king or a particular queen. It was one of the first acts passed by our Congress that we would bear no oath to a particular person. Our oath would be to the Constitution of the United States. Think about how significant that is. Think about how unique that is when you look across the world today. The second thing I would ask you to consider is to join me as a Texan and be a fan of America's team, as the majority of those in the audience today already are, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. There is no shame even for those who will depart on a great state upon the conclusion of today's ceremony. For all the parents, I thank you for raising these airmen and allowing them to join a new family, and that family being the United States Air Force. For the veterans in the crowd here today, your legacy is reflected upon this parade field today. I thank you for your service. I thank you for being here. If all of our veterans would please stand, let's give them a round of applause. For our military training instructors, those who serve in the United States Air Force knows that air power started right here. And it started with those military training instructors who developed, trained, and inspired our next generation. I would ask everyone to come out and thank them upon the conclusion of this ceremony, but let's give all of our MTIs a round of applause. Thank you to all the family, friends, mentors, leaders who have inspired all of these 660 plus airmen who are standing before you today. To the airmen, I'd like to piggyback on something Colonel Carruthers said yesterday at your coining ceremony, when he talked about the fact that you have made a choice to be uncommon. By virtue of becoming a citizen and now becoming an airman in the United States Air Force, you have chosen a path to be uncommon. And how uncommon is that? When I joined the Air Force 23 years ago, when everybody told me that I was joining the 1%. The 1% of Americans who had made a decision to serve. For you, airmen, and everybody in the crowd, that percentage today is 1 in 1,000 Americans have made a choice to serve in the United States military. That is now 1/10 of 1%. Let's give a round of applause to all these airmen today. You have our heartfelt gratitude for choosing that path, for choosing to be something greater than yourself, to choosing to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. And at a personal level, I'm thanking you because you will guarantee my 2 young daughters will still have their unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thank you. My father is a retired Chief Master Sergeant who joined the Air Force in 1962. He was a foster kid out of West Virginia and barely a graduate of the West Virginia public school system. He would serve 26 years and retire as a Chief Master Sergeant. The Air Force became his family. And the one thing that he always stressed with me was that the Air Force was an institution full of opportunity. This Air Force institution did not care what ethnicity you are, what gender you are, where you came from, what you did or didn't do prior to joining the United States Air Force. What this institution values is what you do as an airman in the United States Air Force. He left with me 3 advice that I've carried with me throughout the 23 years I've been in the military, and I'm going to share it with you. And it's to focus on the 3 things that you have absolute control over. And I will share that with you. The first thing you have absolute control over is your work ethic. You can decide how much effort you're going to give each and every day. And what I ask you to consider is, the best way to prepare for tomorrow is to give your best effort today. You don't become excellent in what you do by giving minimal effort. I challenge you, each and every one of you, to give that best effort and pursue perfection. As an arch rival, the head coach of the Green Bay Packers once said, perfection is unattainable, but if you chase perfection, you can catch excellence. I challenge you to catch excellence. The second thing that is absolutely in your control is your attitude. You may not be able to control your emotions, but you can absolutely control how you respond to those emotions. What I ask each and every one of you to do is stay positive, be motivated, and be resilient when times are tough. The third thing, absolutely within your span of control, are your decisions, decision making. For those hard and tough decisions, what I ask you to do is don't make those alone. Use your network of wingmen, mentors, peers, family, friends, first sergeants, chief master sergeants, frontline supervisors. Use that network to help you make and guide you through those tough decisions that each and every one of you will face. And if you can concentrate and think about those 3 things, working hard, being positive and motivated, and making smart choices along your way, that there is no limit to what you can do in our United States Air Force and what you can do for us later in life as a citizen of the United States of America. Again, I thank you for being that 1/10 of 1% who have volunteered to serve in the profession of arms. But I do have one last question before I conclude. Are you prepared to join the ranks of the greatest Air Force on this planet?
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Colonel Mills will now administer the oath of enlistment.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, John,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States
and the orders of the officers appointed over me,
and the orders of the officers appointed over me,
according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
according to regulations in the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Airmen. Thank you, Colonel Mills. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing as our newest airmen recite the Airman's Creed and remain in place for the departure of our official party. I am an American airman.
I am a warrior. I have answered my nation's call. I am an American airman. My mission is to fly, fight, and win. I am faithful to a proud heritage, a tradition of honor, and a legacy of valor. I am an American airman, guardian of freedom and justice. My nation's sword and shield, its century and avenger. I defend my country with my life. I am an American airman, winged leader, warrior. I will never leave an airman behind. I will never falter. Never will not fail.
Thank you, and please be seated.
Right turn! March!
As viewed from the bleachers, from your left to your right, the first four heritage flights are from the 321st Training Squadron. Vinegar, Bacon, Murray, and Blake flights. They are followed by DeBrock, Waldo, Harlow, and McKinley flight from the 324th Training Squadron. The next two flights are from the 331st Training Squadron, Peterson and Finch flight. Next is Campanelli flight from the 324th Training Squadron. The last four flights are from the 323rd Training Squadron. Blue, Roy, Cody, and Matthews flight. Airmen in the state flag mast Kinsley flight are from the 331st Training Squadron and will be released to their visitors at the equipment locker to your left after they secure their flags. Please be careful while exiting the bleachers and while moving onto the grassy areas. For your safety, we also ask that you only use stairs to exit the bleachers. All airmen are now released to their visitors. Thank you for your attendance and enjoy the rest of your stay at Joint Base San Antonio-Lackland, Texas.